Hola, party peoples. It's time to get this show started.
Still don't know my worth, still stressing perfection. Let you all in my mental, got me looking too desperate. Damn, you ain't deserve.
Alrighty, let's get this road on the show, shall we? Alright. We are not going to be here long because Raw was So, top commenter of the day. Let's get that started. Okay. This Jenkins was the top commenter of the day. That's a new name. Shout out to you for being here first and commenting first. Raw was something. It's beginning to look a lot like La La. It's the only way to explain it. Eli, Janelle, Kayla, and Aaliyah and Tay. These are my top 5 commenters of the day. All right. And if you want to be top 5 commenter of the day, all you have to do is come in, drop a little comment in there as quickly as possible, right when you come live, and you can be selected to be one of my top 5 plus 1 commenters of the day. Any whoosies. Let's get into the show, shall we? Raw was something. It kicked off with Drew McIntyre. He decided to give another monologue about how he was going to win and how Damian Priest can't win without the Judgment Day, and how if it wasn't for him, he'd still be champion. We heard the same song and dance every single week, love. Are we going to hear anything new, babe? No, I don't think we will. Because after Saturday, the tune is going to shift from Damian Priest, of course, back to CM Punk. I have a sneaking suspicion that is coming. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens in Glasgow, Scotland, shall we? Now, as I said, Damian and Drew gave their sparring words back and forth because, of course, this is the last time that these two men will meet in a public setting before they head off to Glasgow, Scotland. Okay. And of course, Damian made it very clear that he wasn't going to be playing these games with Drew McIntyre. He was like, look, if you think that Judgment Day is the issue or that I need Judgment Day to win, you're wrong. I'll prove it to you. Tonight, you can battle up and saddle up against Finn Balor. If you win, Judgment Day is banned from ringside, and I beat you all fair and square, one way or another. But if I win, the Judgment Day get to be at ringside, not to interfere, but to watch and bask in my glory as I beat you and shut you up once and for all. And Drew McIntyre agreed to the stipulation. So later on tonight, which was the main event, Drew McIntyre would face off against none other than Finn Balor, and whoever won would win their respective side stipulation. Drew won, no Judgment Day. If Finn won, Judgment Day. Simple as that. But that was not all, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, nay, nay. You see, it cut to a scene of the Judgment Day's locker room, as they like to put it, which is literally just them setting up in the backstage area with a bunch of crates and shit. But do you, baby? And I mean, at bare minimum, they could give y'all one of the rooms in the back. They just let y'all set up outside in front of everybody, and y'all just call it y'all a clubhouse. It's a weird situation, if you ask me. But let me make sure I'm on the right channel. Am I? I am. Very good. Whore Bells popped up in the little clubhouse of the Judgment Day, and she gave little Dommy Dom the room key to her room, and she says she don't like the fact that he have to call Rhea mommy. That's not fair. He's such a gorgeous man. Somebody should be calling him daddy, and I almost threw up. Oh Lord. First of all, ew. Second of all, she gave him the he did take, by the way. And then Judgment Day came in after she kind of scurried off, and she was like, "I will hope to see you in my room later." Dominic looked like he was sitting there having an existential crisis, honey. He did not know which way was going and coming. What should I do? Do I go to her room? Do I stay home? What do I do? I don't know. I don't know what you do, babe. I don't know. I don't. I legitimately don't. Cause Sasha said, "Me too, girl." We were retching, okay. But the boys tried to tell him, like, "Hey, like, we don't know what's going on with you, but like, you need to chill the fuck out, okay, bro? Like, you can't be letting people in the clubhouse and having all these conversations with folks and doing all this weirdo shit. You can't be doing that, hun. Put together, you got a whole woman at home, okay, and she's recuperating at the hands of this harlot. You shouldn't be out here doing all of this." Well, that didn't help because it was while they was back there planning, Judgment Day had a match against the LWO today. Babe, when I tell you I seen this action figure with a sign that said "I'm a deadbeat dad" on it, that shit is funny. I don't care what nobody says. That's hilarious. I was dying. I was like, bro, who did this? They are hilarious. Are you kidding me? This is comedic gold. I love it. Anyways, when Dom told all the Judgment Day that Liv was popping up in the clubhouse and left her room key there, the only person that was smiling and was like, "Go get the pig, go get the cooch, man," was Carlito. He was Carlito is the only dog in this whole group. Aside from Damian Priest, he a sleeper dog. But you ain't hear that from me. Anyway, so they all have been rallying around Dom, trying to protect him from Big Bad Liv, him from the harlot, the whore bell, known as Liv Horgan, as Don calls her. Horrible been causing all types of havoc, but it ended up coming to being worse once Liv came out there during the match to continue to entice Dom to come to her room. She came out there during the match, and Dom was out there for support, it seems. And because it was LWO's Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio and Braun Strowman versus Carlito, JD McDonough, and I believe Dominic was in that match. So as the match continued, she decided to get on the apron and try to entice Dom to leave. Dom is like, "You need to get out of here." He slid out the ring and was like, "You need to go." Stood in front of her. She's literally on the apron with her boots on, squatting. Like, what is the problem? Like, just come on. We're going to have a good time. And Zelina Vega is tagged. Now, if you don't know what you don't know is a lot. Zelina Vega and Liv Morgan got into a little tizzy on the internets. You see, Liv Morgan was like, "I can't believe you was out here sucking face and grabbing on this damn rat tail ass mullet. That's nasty." Which, agreed. Apparently Liv didn't like that and she decided to go for the juggler. And she was like, "What I can't believe is how you got your ass whooped in front of all your people, in front of everybody, and you was ragdogged by Rhea Ripley. I can't believe that." Now, from what I saw, Selena Vega didn't say nothing back to her. But had that should have been me, I'm like, didn't your ass get laid out for 9 months by Rhea Ripley? Wasn't Rhea Ripley headbutting the shit out your ass and kicking you dead in your shit for almost 3 months before she laid your ass out and took out your partner? Before you start throwing stones, you might want to check that glass house, babe. Because it was not too long ago that you was being laid out by the same bitch. Let's just keep it real. So while I was getting my ass kicked in my hometown, you also had been getting fucked up. At least my ass whooping was once. You didn't learn the first time. Just saying. You was out here taking L after L, bitch. You had to catch that big bitch off guard in order for you to get her. So I'm just saying, if you gonna talk shit, at least come correct. You know what I'm saying? And while yeah, you was the last person to beat her and yada yada yada, it is way too much mess going on out here in these streets for you to be out here looking in my backyard when you know your backyard is full of bones. You little juvenile delinquent. Okay? Watch your tone, keep your motherfucking teeth. That's what I'm saying. So it's been mum's the word on these internet streets between Liv and Zelina Vega for quite some time. So now that they have come to fruition, where Zelina Vega is in her presence and able to at least get some get back, Zelina straight up kicked that hoe off the edge of the apron, and she ended up landing on Dominic on his crotch. This lady continued to straddle this man in front of all these little cheering and in front of all the cheering and grown folks. It was very provocative, honey. For a PG-13 show, they are straddling the line, literally. Now, Zelina Vega grabbed that hoe by her hair and ripped her off of Dominic and started fighting her like she was a dog in the street. Now, for whatever reason, JD McDonough grabs Liv and pulled her away. And I think it was Ray that grabbed Zelina Vega and pulled her back. It was Ray because Dragon Lee was in the ring, right? So Dominic is still laid out on the ground, prostrate, thinking about Liv straddling them, and ain't said a word, child. He ain't moved. He didn't say nothing. He just laid there. She laid up on top of him, grabbing his face and carrying on. It was giving very much horror bells, honey. I was like, ooh, child. Wow. Wowzers. I said, this is nasty for network television. That's nasty. She said, that's what Pat McAfee said. Hashtag straddle. Well, she did. She definitely did that. She ain't got no morals. Anyway, that was probably one of the funniest things I've seen for the better part of the night. Now, in this particular matchup between Otis and Samuel Zayn, well, before all of this happened, Sammy went and apologized to Maxine and Akira Tozawa. For what reason? I don't know. But for me, I wouldn't apologize for nothing that I didn't do. Okay, your homeboy pushed me into Otis, which knocked y'all off the apron. Y'all saw the motherfucking footage. Stop playing with me. That's how I would have handled it. But everybody ain't me. Okay. Now, Sammy basically was like, I'm still trying to understand why y'all keep listening to this man and what this man's appeal to y'all is. But you know what? Do y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and mind my business. I got a match to prepare for. And then Otis was like, yo, hold up, bro. Like, look, dead ass, I lost my cool. You feel me? I shouldn't have attacked you like that. It was mad disrespectful, and I'm sorry. And he was like, you know what? You ain't gotta apologize to me, bro. I understand. But like he was like, for the life of me, I can't understand or figure out what your attachment to Chad Gable is and how you keep letting this man treat you like you some dog on the street. So Otis runs it down. And he was like, when I was at my lowest, Chad Gable saw the best in me. And he picked me up. He's my family. Maxine is my sister. Akira's my brother. I'm not gonna turn my back on them. And he was like, I was like, don't save him. He don't want to be saved. Don't save him. He don't want to be. Leave his ass alone. Like he legitimately is too deep into the game to understand that Chad Gable is only using him to get him where he needs to be. Once he gets what he wants, Otis, Akira, and Maxine ain't gonna be worth shit to him no more. I promise you that. But anyways, this led to a series of unfortunate events because as he was talking to them and he tells them everything, and Otis was just like, I lost my Tucky, I lost my Peach, I lost my money in the bank briefcase, like everything was taken from me. And he was like, I can't leave him. So he was like, if it's gonna be to your detriment if you don't get out of this. If you don't leave and walk, you, Maxine, and Kira gonna be stuck in this for the rest of your lives. And he was just like, I'm out of here. Sammy left and went to the ring. So Sammy decided to try to make a plea to the group again. You know, tell them, hey, you ain't got to do this. You don't have to be around this. He said, I know what y'all going through. I know how y'all feel because I was you. And in fairness of Sammy, that's true. He was them. And he was suffering abuse via Roman Reigns. However, he did that on his own reconnaissance. Similar to Maxine, Otis, and Akira, they can walk away at any given time. However, they feel obligated to stay. It's like a groupthink situation, and they are stuck in this never ending cycle of waiting for that moment where he will flip back to the guy that they know and love this whole time. And it doesn't seem like that's ever going to happen again. Um, So Chad Gable basically is like, I see you trying to manipulate them and turn them against me, but you don't know what family is. My family is happy. They're okay with being with me. And he was like, look at Maxine, look at Akira, look at Otis. They don't look happy. They never look happy. And I was like, facts. The jaw jacking and back and forth continued. And then they set the match. So Otis got the match going with Sammy and was getting ready to do his thing. And because little Minnie Gable decided to get up on the apron to try to tell Otis what to do instead of just letting him lose on his own reconnaissance or win on his own reconnaissance, he thought he knew best. And this caused enough of a distraction for Sammy to get the haluva kick on Otis. Knocked Otis out, pinned, 1, 2, 3, match over. Okay. Now Gable coming there and immediately attacked Sammy, taking Sammy out. Otis is like, bro, you cost me my match. You know what I'm saying? Now, while he's laid out, Maxine come limping her ass in there with that boot on. And Akira come in there. And they all surrounded Otis trying to make sure he okay. Get everybody out. Gets Otis up, tells him to shake it off. You're fine. I don't know why you laid out. Get up. He gets up and he holds Sammy because he done beat the hell out of him. And he's like, hit him. Take him out. Take him out. And Otis is struggling with the thought of having to beat up Sammy. So Gable does what he always does. beating down and attacking, slapping the shit out of Otis, calling him an idiot, telling him he's stupid. What are you, dumb? What are you, stupid? Get your ass over here and do what I'm telling you to do. I'm the leader. You know I'm the coach. I'm the one who gets you where you need to be. It's me, 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 me. So Otis gets mad and look like he finna spear the shit out of Gable, but Gable move his punk ass out the way, and Sammy takes the brunt of it and gets beat to hell. In his rage, he just went ballistic and took Sammy out. And Gable thought he was cool. You know, it was like, that's my guy. He did it. And he turned on Gable for a minute, but it didn't work out in his favor. He eventually stopped as he began to calm down, I guess. He left with a killer backseat, and Gable was in the ring smiling and cheesing, thinking he got the upper hand. The way I see it is at Clash of the Castle, more than likely Chad Gable is not going to get this championship. He probably will get it at another date when he finally joins forces with the Creed brothers, but he ain't getting that title anytime soon. At least not at Clash of the Castle. But let's move on to another crazy person. Because Io Sky done lost her ever loving mind. Now, I don't know what the hell going on with Io, but she is not okay with losing to Lyra Valkyria. And every single member of Damage Control has lost to Lyra Valkyria since she's debuted on the main roster. Every single member of Damage Control, with the exception of Asuka, has lost to Lyra Valkyria. Now, Lyra was getting some get back on Io because Io attacked her last week. Lyra was out there and she was getting money. It was money being made in the ring for Lyra Valkyria, okay? But of course, bony ass Dakota decided to come in and cause a distraction along with Kyrie. They ended up getting taken out by Lyra, but it was just enough of a distraction for Io to get her opening and get the win. She won, but that wasn't enough. Dakota and Kyrie attacked, and then they went out to check on Io. Io then brushes them off, runs into the ring, and attacks Lyra Valkyria even more. They have to go in there and get her. Now, after these double attacks on Lyra, that's when the disco bitches come out there. And in my mind, I'm trying to figure out where the fuck was y'all at? Like, what was y'all doing sitting in the back chilling, ho? Like, this whole time that they was out there whooping their ass. Like, they were whipping her ass, okay? Y'all just sitting in the back. Just sitting in the back, chilling. Nobody came out there. Nobody thought, hey, Peter, she might need a little help. No. You just was out there whipping ass. Okay, girl. The Disco Twins just came out there. They come in there and the Damage Control leaves. Later on in the night, Io was out there and Dakota like, girl, what the hell was that? And Dakota was like, I took care of it. I mean, Io was like, I took care of it. And then she had a whole motherfucking spell. She said something about damage control, something, and I didn't know what else she said after damage that. Control must change. Oh, damage control must change? Is that what she said? And then she finished on Super Saiyan. Oh, you understood the rage talk? Yeah. Y'all speak the same language? Okay, I'm gonna have to watch you. Anyway, because you ain't doing that shit to me. I shoot you first. Anyway, you better keep Broly's ass at bay. You understand? Anyway, or he gonna suffer the Glock. Now, she said damage control gotta change. I guess they gonna have to be hollering and screaming like she been doing for the last couple of weeks in order for that to work. But anyway, that ain't really the meat and potatoes of Monday Night Raw, okay? Because I'm going to give y'all the stuff that really didn't matter to me, which was this match with Final Testament and Truth and Miz. I don't know when they're going to have Truth and Miz drop the title, but I'm really ready for them to drop the titles. And as much as I love Miz and Truth, I definitely think that those titles need to go somewhere so that it can move, so it can have something going in that division, because on both shows the titles are very stagnant. And while I love Truth and like I said I love Miz, I need I need something to get going with those titles. I need it. I need it. She said, EO definitely snap. Girl, yes. Snapped in catering. That's hateful. He said, thanks, AJ. Anywhoosies. They said, thank you for telling them what she said. Yep. Anywhoosies. So, Final Testament had got a match with Truth and Miz. Miz had been looking for Truth all day. And Truth has sat down with a tarot reader, a fortune teller. That tarot reader happened to be Scarlett, okay? And Scarlett basically gave them the death card and read them their reading. Now, from what the Miz said, I figured out, I mean, from what Truth said, I figured out how this was going to go. Truth said that they had to defend their titles tonight. The Miz was like, against who? And he called them the APA. And I said, okay, so they're going to be fighting AOP. Okay. And he said, it's true. I've seen unicorns. I said, oh, so New Day going to be out there. Okay. So I figured it out from his from his lingo. We'll say it that way. And it just seemed like Miz was not latching on. He wasn't catching on to what was happening here. So they had that conversation. Scarlett gave him the death card, and then the match was set. So Truth and Miz were defending the Raw Tag Team Championships against AOP. Now, Nicole's here. Nicole was at the show, y'all. She was there. She was in a suite, and she was getting all types of free food and alcohols. I'm so jealous. Anyways, she said, Rico said them belts too pretty to sit like that. I know. And I love R-Truth, and I love the Miz. I've learned to come to appreciate the Miz, but it's time for them to move. It's time for them belts to move to a different tag team. Anybody but AOP. I don't care what anyone says. Anybody but AOP. Okay? She said, I only had 2 drinks. I was not with the shits, girl. But anyways, y'all. So now, if you haven't been paying attention for the last couple of weeks, then you won't know that Karrion Kross has been planting seeds of doubt in New Day's armor of positivity. He has been constantly going after Kofi, constantly going after Woods, causing all this seeds of doubt, just causing a lot of discord between the two and trying to break them apart as much as possible. It seemed like last week that it worked because last week they had a tag team match against AOP, I want to say. And in that match, Kofi was supposed to be tagging and ready to go, but Karrion caused enough of a distraction to when Woods went to the corner, Kofi wasn't there. Prior to that, I knew they were quiet. I knew they were going to be quiet. He basically was like, he told Woods, next time you won't have to follow behind him anymore after tonight. That's basically what he told him, and then he caused that distraction. Nicole said everyone around me was so drunk, but I was. Were what though? I feel like Jesus. Facts over AOP. The area was so quiet. The arena was so quiet when FT came out. Not a damn peep. I don't think they're getting over. They're gonna have to break them apart. Like, you were high, Jesus. I figured it was high, but I was like, I don't know what this is. It just looked like if you had to put the wind emoji there, I probably would have got it. It's been a long day, Nicole. I'm sorry. Anyways, I'm not surprised that people didn't care. I don't like the way AOP is set up. It's a massive group of people. Paul Ellering doesn't need to be there. Like, send him home. I'm not trying to be mean or disrespectful. I'm just calling it like I see it. If you were gonna bring AOP back, I think the initial concept of them being with Karrion but I feel like Carrie and Scarlett could do what they're doing without being in AOP, if that makes sense. Um, I don't like it. I think they should split them up. I think they should go with Carrion as he is and let him be an agent of chaos. I also think that Scarlett should play a massive role in that. They need to let her wrestle. She needs to be going after bitches. She'd be a good adversary for Liv Morgan right now. You got a viable champion in Liv Morgan to let other people come in and fight against. Give Scarlett something else to do. Let her go after Liv and have a prominent fight with Liv Morgan. You got two beautiful women really fighting and having really good matches. Like Scarlett is no slouch in the ring. You could do some really good damage with her in that ring and build her up to be a true adversary and heel in that division and still let her be the sexy woman that she is. She can do all of those things and still be immaculate in the ring. I just wish they would give her the opportunity. I don't know what Kratos' ass is doing back there, but he better tighten up and straighten up really fast. With all that being said, let's talk about Ricochet. Now, I told you guys Sunday that Ricochet was leaving, and that while it's sad, it's for the best. It's for the best. You know what I'm saying? And everyone online was mad, saying folks was quiet during Braun and Ilya's match, but folks was in trance. They couldn't look away or move except for the spots. Hmm. I heard Scarlett can wrestle. It would definitely be nice to see that. She's an amazing wrestler. If you don't know about Scarlett's work prior to WWE, I highly recommend you go on YouTube. And well, you are here. If you're watching me on YouTube, you can go over on YouTube and look at some of her matches. I'm sure there's plenty of stuff up there from either fans or maybe herself that's been uploaded. Go and check it out. She has some really good stuff. TNA has some of her older stuff as well. You'd really like it. Um, so let's get into Braun's match with Ilya Dragunov. I thought the match was very good between the two of them. I'm hearing a lot of people talking about, Braun dominated in that match. I disagree 100%. He did not dominate in that match. In fact, there were many opportunities or many times where Braun Breaker almost lost that match to Ilya Dragunov, and it was Ilya's tenacity that kept him in that match to begin with. Ilya has never been an easy person to fight. He reminds me a lot of Fit Finley when Fit Finley was there, and quite frankly, Fit Finley was the type where you had to beat down tremendously in order to beat him. And Ilya gives off that vibe. If you've never watched a Finley match, go back and watch some of his old stuff on WWE. If you can watch it on Peacock. If you're overseas and you're listening, go on the WWE network and pull it up and you'll see it. He had such a tenacity when wrestling, and he was the type of guy that you just could not beat him. He had an answer for everything. He was always finding a way to kick out. And God, he was such a hard hitting wrestler. But anyways, Ilya is very similar to that. And during that match, there was a lot of times where Ilya was just beating Braun down. And I feel like if that longer, like about maybe 5 more minutes, Ilya would have won just out of sheer with Braun just being out of breath. Because while Braun is a great wrestler, true enough, length and time in matches is not his thing. It never has been. Now, is he capable of doing it? Sure. Does he have the stamina? Yeah, but not to the limits of what Gunther can do and what Ilya can do. No, they would work his ass over so long that he would have no choice but to relinquish and quit. He's not going to be able to keep up in that type of match, because you these type of guys, Gunther and Ilya, when they come into the ring and they're fighting and they get to the point where you're exhausted and you're tired, it's very similar to what Gable was telling Sammy. They're going to find that second win and they're going to take you out. Braun doesn't have a second win. He goes all in from the very beginning, which is one of his telltales. If I was wrestling him, I would let him wear himself out. It would not take a lot. I probably would fight him more like how Muhammad Ali would fight George Foreman. How you would constantly take the shots, you would constantly take the hits, or you would move. You're fast, you're quicker than them, and you just wear them down. just wear them down until he doesn't have the energy to fight back anymore. That's how I would do it. Because he's a big guy and he doesn't have the stamina. He just doesn't. I don't care what anyone says. But anyways, she says she was a big factor in intergender matches picking up steam, especially in TNA. Yeah, she was 100%. My mama loves Ilya. I love him too. She likes wrestlers like that. She loves Gunther. I don't love Gunther, but I like his matches. I will say that. But I don't love Gunther. I despise Gunther's attitude. But I'll never take away what he can do in the ring. But I despise that beaker looking motherfucker. Anyways, these two were having a battle, and it ended with Ilya being able. Ilya almost got the W in this one, but Braun was able to hit Ilya. It took 3 spears to take Ilya Dragunov down. No, I refuse. No, he get the same smoke. Fuck that man. Oh God. You said, I think those 2 wrestlers specifically remind her of wrestlers from the old days of when she first started watching wrestling. I'm pretty sure they do. I'm pretty sure they do. I will say this though, if they ever cross paths again, Gunther and Ilya, I'm be sitting perched because I watched the first one because AJ watched it and Nicole had already seen it, and I was like, "Ooh, I need to watch this." I watched that, and then I saw the second time that they battled. I think it was the third time actually. By the time I saw it, they fought 3 times, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was 3. By the time I saw it, it was the third time. So I watched the second and the third time. I didn't watch the first one. Um, but the third time they were in NXT when they were fighting, and I watched that match from start to finish, and I love that match. It's one of my favorites. So I hats off to both of them. I just don't like Gunther's character. But Nicole loves him down. Like he is her favorite. You know, love that for you, babe. But I can't stand him. Anyways, this tie-dyed motherfucker right here was causing all types of havoc on the show. And he decided he wanted to go after Ilya once more. So he beat the brakes off of Ilya Dragunov. And this was where Ricochet came to the rescue. He ran off, this little crybaby bitch. Ran him off. And when Ricochet was trying to take Ilya to the back, Ilya protected Ricochet again. Well, Ilya protected Ricochet and took the hit from Brian Breaker. And then Brian Breaker got attacked by Ricochet, and Ricochet tried to defend himself, but Brian was able to overpower Ricochet. And here's where things got a little messy, okay? Ricochet ended up getting thrown into one of the trucks on the side, and that took him out completely. He then was carted up the production truck and dropped back first onto the car. Samantha was standing in the arena watching and was absolutely distraught. She walked to the back to go find him in the port, usually where they have the trucks deliver and everything. They had the ambulance come, and Ricochet put the thumbs up that he was gone, that he was okay. And Samantha is outside of her mind. You know, she looked like she was crying and upset. She played her role pretty well. They put him in the truck, had Samantha ride with her, and that was it. Ricochet has been written off of TV. Ricochet is gone for now. I believe Ricochet will come back later on, and when he does, he'll be put in a position where he will probably, you know, come back and shake some tables and have some fun. It's going to be a couple years, but I think Ricochet's going to have a good time over in New Japan and on the Indies. A lot of people want him to go to AEW, but I'm going to tell you right now, I do not think that is the place for you to go right now. But again, you're going to make your own decisions and do your own thing, and I'm all for that. As long as you do you, I am not mad at you, okay? So she said, I'm not mad about Gunther either. No shade. Okay, man. She loves Drew too. So much so that she had the Drew McIntyre phone case. Oh my God. Well, I can't be mad at her because I had so y'all can't judge me. But when I when I was a teenager, I loved John Cena. I still like John Cena. And I had posters in every house that I lived in. So when I would go to my grandma's house, there was a poster on the back of my door to my room. And then in my house, in my parents' house, I had a poster of John Cena on the back of my door. It was actually on my closet door. And then I had like, y'all not gonna judge me. I feel y'all judging me through the screen, and I don't appreciate that. Okay, I don't appreciate none of that. Y'all disrespectful. I was a teenager. What do you want from me? What do you want? And your whoosies. Before I get judged. Y'all rude asses. Samantha was at her and was. I don't even think my grandma took my poster down. I think my poster is still up there on the door. It might still be up there. Tish said I had John Cena poster too. See, I'm not alone. Yeah, I had it on every door. I had it on every door in every house that I lived in. Every house I was in had a John Cena poster on it. Because I love John Cena. Anyways, poor Samantha. She had to leave, so she was not allowed to or not able to announce the last match, which of course was Drew McIntyre versus Finn. So Pat did it. And when I tell you that Pat did a banger of a job, it was hilarious. He gave Drew all the accolades in the world. But when Finn brought his ass out there, he said Finn got 2% body fat and he was representing the bum ass Judgment Day. And when I tell you I cackled, that was fun. That was hilarious. That was the best thing. It was so fucking funny. I loved every minute of it. Pat is a gem. People be giving Pat so much hell, but I love Pat. Pat is fun on the microphone. He is fun on commentary with Michael. Him and Michael play off of each other very well. He don't have to know anything. All he can do is just give his little commentary in the midst of it. I kind of wish it was a 3-man group again because sometimes with Pat, because he is not 100% adept when it comes to calling the commentary in terms of the matches. Sometimes he's just like a fan, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But sometimes you miss the lingo, the jargon. You miss what the call, the move is, what's going on. Sometimes you miss that a little bit. Michael gives it to you, but I think it works really nicely when a former wrestler does it because they have a little bit more inside information of having been in there, having done that. And you also miss that back and forth. You miss that back and forth of like asking them what they would have done. You know how like Vic does with Booker T, or how Corey and Wade play off of each other, which I kind of wish that there was somebody to kind of offset Corey and Wade Barrett, because there's a discrepancy in their commentary that makes it almost unbearable sometimes. But I'll get into that another day. Okay. Anyways, the match went like this for the final match of the night. Finn Balor faced off against Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre and Finn was going back and forth, going back and forth. Finn was losing, so Damian came out there. So did JD, and so did Carlito. That didn't help. Drew McIntyre ended up getting the win. Damian Priest stood on the apron, was holding up his championship, and Drew McIntyre standing there smiling. Now, prior to Drew coming out there, Sheamus talked to Drew, and Sheamus was like, "Hey, you need to go to Glasgow, get this W, fuck him up." You know what I'm saying? And then we're gonna go get a pint afterwards and go get drunk and celebrate. And Drew was like, "Bet, I got you." He was like, "You go ahead and you handle fucking Ludwig and you get that money in the bank." And he was like, "And you, when you get it though, don't cash in on me though, bro." Like, don't be no coward to cash in on me. You better let me know you're gonna cash in on me. Give me a little heads up. And he was like, bro, you know I got you because it's always gonna be banger after banger after banger, period. So they dapped it up and he left and came out there and won his match. And that mine was Monday Night Raw. Now there was one other match that happened. Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks, January 6th, went up against Isla and Alba. Okay. And then the tag team champions was out there. Now the tag team champions was sitting ringside watching the two wrestle. Zoe threw her nasty ass jersey at Bianca, and Bianca was like, "Girl, you need to put on some deodorant." She said, "Girl, you need some deodorant for your boutique." Honey. Ooh, she ate your ass up, girl. You can't be coming out there stinking, Zoe. Okay, that natural deodorant that don't work. Okay, you need aluminum. You need antiperspirant. Okay, with your strong face ass. You can't be coming out there like that stinking. A grown woman and your armpits stink. Lord have mercy. It was Michael's birthday. He's 62. Wow. Happy birthday, Michael Cole. 62 and you out here doing it like better than anybody else. All right now. 62 years old. When he retired, my God, we done been through two different eras of commentary. The Michael Cole era and the JR era. And oh, don't do without Michael. You know who I thought would have been the next voice for the commentary that I thought was actually really good? It was Tom. I miss Tom. That's one of the reasons why I go to TNA a lot, because I like hearing Tom on commentary. But I wish Tom would come back to the East so bad. I miss Tom. Tom was my replacement for Michael Cole. He was my guy. He was my guy. Oh, yes, Tom Phillips. I miss him. He was I felt like he had the best journalistic voice that I've heard. And he was very, very good. He was very good at calling the matches. His responses was very hype, like Michael's. Another person that I miss terribly. I miss him so much. Oh my God. Mauro Ranello. I miss Mauro Ranello so much. I miss him because he was so much fun on commentary when it was NXT Black and Gold. Oh, I miss him. I miss him so much. I miss him so much. Mora was so much fun. He knew all the rap references. He was out and he was so unique. He wasn't trying to be nobody but Moro, and I loved it. I loved it so much. I miss him. I miss him so much. Moro could have been a great replacement for Michael and Tom. Tom and Moro were my guys, and both of them are gone, and I'm so upset. But you know what? Corey's not a bad commentator, but he does not do well at being a lead commentator. On SmackDown specifically with Wade Barrett being there, he just doesn't work as a lead commentator. He is better as the color commentator, the person who you play off of. Like, I really, really need him to go back to that, and I don't know how they're gonna fix that, but they need to fix it. I just looked it up and it said he's 55 and his birthday is December 8th. Wow. Okay. I love Moro. He was my guy. Got jealous and decided to start against Moro Ranello and bully him out. Oh, bitch ice. Then he got a taste of his own medicine and he couldn't take it. I'm gonna get off social media for a little while. Yeah, fuck you, Corey. JBL and his big and tall suits fucked that up. Oh, I love JBL on commentary. I used to hate listening to his bitch ice on commentary. I used to hate his punk ass. I'd be like, shut the fuck up, JP. Oh, I miss Morrow so much. I watch boxing matches just to hear his voice, and boxing matches put me to sleep. I love Morrow. His boxing calling is hilarious. I love it. Corey too. Corey was jelly. He definitely was. You know he was. He's like, how many rap? Let's listen. Let's count how many rap references Corey he's gonna make. Well, let's count how many references you actually can make. None. None. Weak ass. Anyways, there was one more thing that happened on Monday Night Raw today. There was a QR code that popped up. Let's see if I can. Usually I let Alexis analyze it because that is her thing and she's pretty damn good at it. But I'm going to do it live right now. We're going to see. Okay, what does this? Is it creepy? You refused salvation. The reckoning is inevitable. 6 days, 20 hours, and 3 minutes. Huh. I guess that's when they'll pop up. So, when is that? Next Monday? Next Monday is 6 days from now? Oh boy. I wonder how this is going to play into Monday Night Raw. I'm very curious about that. Anyways, it's for Raw next week. I thought it was. Morrow said JBL and Corey both were bullies, which aided him to leave in because it was taking a toll on his mental health. I hate that because I love Morrow Manello. I loved him. It's for Raw next week. That's crazy. They got all the spooky shit on Raw. Yeah. Which, to be fair, I'm kind of glad they do because I feel like it would be wasted on SmackDown. Um, I just feel like it would be wasted on SmackDown, and I hate to say that, but I do. Anywhoosies, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the home stretch. We're pretty dead on today, though. We're not going too far. We're not too long of the tooth here. We got a pretty decent show. A little less than an hour we've been on here, and then we're gonna go ahead and make sure we got all the Clash of the Castle stuff, which we do. All right, my friends. Now, Clash of the Castle is Saturday, June 15th. And on June 14th, in case you want to watch some TNA, it is Under Siege, I believe it is. Let me double check because I got my subscription. Let me check. Oh, excuse me. I keep calling it Under Siege. It's Against All Odds. Jesus. June 14th, which is Friday, is Against All Odds. And I keep calling it Under Siege. And I don't know why I keep doing that. So I apologize, okay? I am so sorry. My brain is not working the way it should. So let me reiterate. If you want to sign up for TNA Plus, you should. You can get it at a discount. I believe if you use the code Try Us, you could get it at $4.99 for the first month instead of getting it at $9.99 for the first month. And you will have access to the pay-per-views except for Slammiversary. So Against All Odds is the damn pay-per-view. Jesus. Against All Odds is June 14th. It is Friday. Jordan Grace is having an open challenge at Against All Odds. So you guys can watch that and love that. Love that for us. We love that. And I want to see it because I actually enjoy TNA's pay-per-views. I think they're really, really good. So AJ and someone from NXT showing up at TNA, I'm calling it. Of course, it's gonna be AJ and Tatum Paxley. Tatum is showing up. She's probably gonna answer the open challenge along with Ash by Elegance. If she don't show up, Ash is gonna accept the challenge, and of course, Tatum is probably gonna cost Ash that match, which I don't mind. Do whatever you're gonna do, but it's gonna be some people showing up in TNA for sure, which I'm not mad at. Do you, babes? Anywhoosies, I'm gonna give y'all a quick rundown of Clash of the Castle for now, as it is booked. There are no other matches on the card. It's just four, which is really interesting, but it does lend some credence because the I Quit match is gonna be a very long match. So yeah. And they haven't booked any other match, which to be fair, they really need a tag team match on this card because there is not one except for the girls. And to be honest with you, both of the overseas shows, Bianca and Jay have defended their title at both of them, whether it was on the kickoff or on the main card. It didn't matter. They defended their titles at both of them. And neither of the tag team champions in R-Truth and Miz or in A-Town Down Under defended their titles at Crown Jewel. Or it was King and Queen of the Ring, and they're not, as far as I know, booked for Clash of the Castle. So one of them needs to be booked for that. A-Town Down Under needs to go up against DIY and drop those titles because it just needs to happen, okay? But for now, these are your matches, okay? We have Damian Priest. He is going up against none other than Drew McIntyre. And I'm going to tell you now, if you think for a minute that Drew McIntyre is just going to bowl over easy on Damian Priest, you're crazy. Okay? Because I know that there's going to be a Chicago petty bitch running around Glasgow, Scotland somewhere, and he is going to wreak havoc on Drew McIntyre, darling. Now, if he doesn't cost him this belt and actually lets him get this title, he most definitely is going to lay his ass out in Glasgow, and his hand gonna be standing. He gonna be standing tall if he don't cost this man this title. But CM Punk is uber petty. I see him costing him this championship. Speaking of championships, Pammy Pockets, the role model Bailey, is going up against the dangerous Piper Niven, darling. And she has been trying to prove for a very long time that she is a danger. And sure, Piper, we believe you. You're a danger. We know it. We understand it. We love that. Only problem is, like, you know, we don't care. We don't care, babes. It's fine, but we just don't care. All right? Now, there's a triple threat for the tag team championship January 6th, and Shayna Baszler and the Enchantress Isla and her witchy poo friend Alba Fire. And then we got the two Black Magic Queens in Bianca and Jay as champs. They're gonna be defending their championships against both teams. Okay, they said we taking all challenges. We want that work. Period. And then finally we have Sami Zayn versus Perk Gable. Now, I don't think that Gable's going to win at Clash of the Castle, but you never know. With the way these people have been going as of lately, it's very possible that they could swerve us and give this championship to Samuel, but I just don't know. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Clash of the Castle card, with the exception of the last match, which is the I Quit match. The I Quit match with Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. So it's actually 5 matches on the card and not 4. I apologize for misquoting it. Okay, it's actually 5 matches on the card. So the last 40 minutes of the show is probably going to go to this match, which is the I Quit match. All right. And that is your Clash of the Castle card, ladies and gentlemen. I will see you guys tomorrow after NXT because there's a lot to go over. Trick Williams has retained his championship. Roxanne Perez has retained hers. The tag team champions have retained theirs. And Oba Femi has retained his. Everybody kept their titles. No titles changed hands at Battleground except for the new crowning of the inaugural Women's North American Champion in Kaylani Jordan. So I'm pretty sure she'll have some type of celebration and it's going to get interrupted by her very next opponent. I also know that Mia Yim is supposed to be competing against Miss Jada Parker tomorrow. And we probably going to hear from Gallus because after the show was over, instead of them going after the man who has a title that they probably want, they decided to take out Wes Lee and they all jumped him in a massive jump session after the show. And Wesley more than likely is going to end up going up against one of the members of Gallus. And maybe we'll see Noam Dar and them finally take their revenge against Ethan Page. Page was getting attacked by Oro Mensah over and over and over again. It's a lot going on in NXT, and we're going to wait to see how it all plays out. But for now, I will see you guys tomorrow after the show. Peace.